Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about the sports and stuff.
And stuff. Mainly the stuff.
Yeah, mainly this stuff. No,
No.
mainly the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could, baseball is technically happening.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I did
Um,
watch a couple games last week.
Listen, I
Royals
get
are
into-
still
I get
in
into the
wild
Olympics.
card.
I love the Olympics.
Yeah,
Olympics are on.
going on too.
The Olympics did start. Things happened.
USA's.
But we're not going to talk about any of it because I didn't really watch much of it yet.
Yeah, I have some of it recorded. I watched a couple, the swimming finals.
Yeah, we had
Wait,
one of
oh,
them.
did
we
they
had-
do some of the? Did they do some of the skateboarding stuff already?
Yeah, some of the skateboarding stuff already happened. It was.
Yeah, somebody.
wow.
One of the buses for the skateboarders broke down, and a bunch of skaters skated to the skate park.
Are you breaking my heart? Okay.
Anyway,
Well,
let's get into it. We're on NFL.
yeah, that's what you were probably going to talk about because some quarterbacks got paid.
Yeah, some
They got
That's
some
right, got
big
it.
quarterback payments.
And there's a
Big payments,
quarterback still waiting to get paid, but we'll talk about all that. So you got Tua, huh? You got the Do you want to get into the Dolphins with Tua? That one happened first, so let's get into the Dolphins.
Yeah. I mean, it happened by a couple hours.
Right. Yeah, 4 years, 212 million, but 167.1 guaranteed. That's kind of the important number, maybe, right? Is it? Or is it that overall number? Who looks because Jordan Love, 4 years, 220 million, so more
No,
money
guaranteed.
there,
Guaranteed.
but less
Guarantees are all-
guaranteed, and 155 million
Yeah,
guaranteed.
'cause they're never gonna see that full.
That overall number, you're never going to see.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
that guarantee.
That's.
Okay, so Tua, how do we feel about Tua? Guys, how do we feel about the guy?
I mean, I feel like if you're able to keep the pieces around him,
Hmm.
it could be a situation where it pays off.
Hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
I don't think it's a. I don't like it. I don't think that he's gonna win a Super Bowl, and I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback next season. Especially when it comes time for it to matter the most. I know he'll put up his big numbers in the regular season
We've
because he
just-
does have track stars on each side of the field.
Yeah, but in how much longer are you gonna have track stars on both sides of the field when you're paying your quarterback that much? Like,
And one of them
it's
is
tough.
got 3 years left on his deal and is very vocal about how he wants more money.
More money.
For some reason.
Um. So there's that. Waddle did get extended, which I do think smart. I like Waddle getting extended
Yeah.
for them because Tyreek is already complaining about needing more money, and I think that you need to keep one of them in place. And I think that Waddle is
I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
you
a
just-
future.
I don't think Ty's going to get more money from them.
I don't think
No,
Ty's going to get more money. I think
no.
I think he needs more money with how he's producing children right now. With and they're all
He definitely
all
likes
account-
that JD Vance.
Who
Yeah.
was the player like 10 years ago? No, maybe not
Antonio
10,
Cromartie.
Cromartie.
Antonio
Naming
I
off
couldn't
his
name them
kids.
all. I knew exactly what you're
So-and-so's
talking about.
4, so-and-so's 3. Oh wait, my daughter's
He couldn't name them all.
Antonio Cromartie's like that too.
How many did
Yeah.
Phillips have? Philip Rivers.
Yeah,
Philip Rivers.
that was all with a wife.
That's true.
Yeah, but
I do just
Really?
trying.
He did have like 11. He did
yeah,
have like
I
11.
get it.
Like he had like a whole football team.
Philip Rivers doesn't. He's not just doing it for the love of the game,
Yeah.
No, he's trying to set up franchises.
No wonder that motherfucker took a bus whenever they moved from San Diego. No wonder he took a bus down there every week. He just needed the fucking time away. He's like,
Yeah.
I could ride on a plane, but that's like riding on a plane with my family too. He's like, I'll take the bus and it'll just be me and the other quarterbacks, and I won't be annoyed.
God, what's that got to be like? You have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6. God damn.
Dude, no.
You might even have a couple that are the exact same age, just a couple months,
Yeah,
9 months apart.
Perfect. I don't think he has.
I don't think that's
I don't know if he has any twins.
Just kidding.
gonna have some time.
It's horrible.
Okay, so we were talking about quarterback contracts.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about Tua, and that led us to Tyreek Hill. So that every bit of thing that we went on was relevant because we were talking about Tua Tagovailoa. So it led us to Tyreek Hill, which
Okay.
led us to. This.
Okay, I fear paying a guy like that much money, and I understand that's what the market demands. But you've just capped yourself. You've just capped yourself to what I think you just saw last year.
Yeah.
What you saw last year, I think, is to his cat. Like, he's not going to get much better. He's not gonna, the throwing stats. Like, he led the league in passing. Great job. Yeah, I mean, you're also not going to be able to put up 70 on the Broncos every year. Like, that's also not going to help.
But I will say this is a franchise that since Dan Marino took snaps for them have had 25 starting quarterbacks, including Tua Tagovailoa. So
I get it.
this is a team that is desperate for a franchise quarterback. So the first sniff they got of one, they're like, we are fucking paying that. We're not going back. No, sir. We are not getting a Cleo lemon again. We're not getting lemons yet again. Not this time.
Yeah, and I mean,
So, where I'm at with this is, and we've had the discussions about quarterbacks getting contracts that they may not necessarily quote unquote deserve. And I've defended some guys on here. I can't defend this one.
Oh no, this is a hard one too.
Because it's the other guys, there's upside to look at with the other guys.
Yeah.
With Tua, you've seen it.
you've seen it.
You've seen it.
The guy can't throw into a stiff
There's
wind.
nowhere else this guy's game is going.
Like,
Number one. Number two, it was 18 months ago we were talking about this guy's career might be over if he takes another hit to the head.
Oh yeah.
And
kinda
I don't know why that would. I don't know. 18 months doesn't change anything.
no, not
As far as-
for
as far
sure.
as-
Now with head injuries.
With
No.
head injuries, no. So, what, one more shot to the head, and that may be the end of his career and $200-some million down the drain.
No,
Only
hey,
167.
And number two, it's just like you said, Sam. They've capped themselves.
Yeah.
Because
you capped yourself to wild card round.
They
Probably one and
might be
done.
able to
The
sneak
only
into. I
chance-
think that
the only
they'll max it.
that they have of winning a Super Bowl is by being a 1 seed.
And having
Yeah.
everybody come through
Everybody
Miami.
play in Miami.
But my thought is,
and I
I
still
don't
don't
think
think it's-
playing.
That's never going to happen.
That's not an advantage. That playing in Miami is not the advantage that playing in Kansas City is.
It's
For the
not.
Chiefs.
It's not an advantage
Because it's not a disadvantage, which I guess can be an advantage for the Dolphins.
That's the thing. Miami has to have those conditions just to play.
But the problem
Yeah.
is that they're playing a team with a winning record. That's also the bigger struggle that they've had recently. I mean, it don't matter about the fucking weather. They can't beat winning teams. They haven't done that for the past 2 seasons.
That's 2 seasons. And look, if they were gonna get the 1 seed, look what they did last year. They couldn't even grab the 2 seed when they had everything in front of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
it was
no,
all right there, and then they collapsed and they gave up not only the division, but the 2 seed.
And
At least a couple playoff games at home, right?
I'll be honest, I like Tua.
Now, I will say this.
I'm a fan of the guy. I like watching the Dolphins offense, but I don't like this contract.
And it's not like I don't think Tua is like an albatross around the team's neck. He's not elevating the team.
Yeah.
If Miami went and got some banger fucking defense, and really they don't really need to change a whole lot on offense, then they could be serious Super Bowl contenders. Until your quarterback plays in cold weather.
Yeah, man. And when your quarterback gets paid this much, it's gonna be hard to build a really good defense for him.
Yeah.
Hope
that's
you draft
true.
well. Hope you draft.
You give him the quarterback money, so you.
And how much did you give his wide receivers? So you gave the quarterback and your wide receivers a ton of money, what you got left over for defense.
You see so many bad team building decisions
Yeah.
And
And
I
you see
kind, I
teams
almost,
do-
I almost kind of feel bad for the Dolphins because I think the owner was just really. He kind of felt maybe the same way the Jags did, and like, what else are we gonna do? But at least with Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's 24. You can still see upside there. Like, I don't feel like I don't think anybody feels like they've seen the best of Trevor Lawrence yet.
I think
I
that's
think
my
he's still the
biggest
best
issue
thrower.
with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't know. That is the thing. Like, I feel like Trevor Lawrence could. I feel like he has more upside than Tua. Like, I know they've been around about
course he
as long, but I'm pretty sure he has a little more upside than Tua.
Yeah, I mean, he was a
Nick Wright says
generational
something
talent.
really good this week when you're thinking about Trevor Lawrence is that if you think Trevor Lawrence is bad, then you have to assume all of high school, all of college, and year 2 in the NFL were all flukes.
I mean, yeah, instead of just like last year and then of course the Urban Meyer year. I mean, this year is going to be very telling. Trevor Lawrence. In a year, I think we're going to know.
See, I still don't think that because it's not while it's still tied to Doug Peterson.
Why? You don't know? What do you have
What-
against Dougie?
what-
This is a
everything,
Dougie P show.
everything I've seen since he left Philadelphia, which I'm pretty sure he wasn't really all that responsible for.
Hey,
well,
Philly. I
don't-
kind of agree.
I mean, we know how he built the team, but Doug,
I was gonna say, and if the Eagles felt he was responsible, I think he'd still be there.
I think they feel like coaches can kind of just plug and play coaches.
Maybe.
Have they been wrong?
Howie's like, this is my baby, I build it, and then I just find somebody who can kind of like call some plays and have him go do some stuff on the field. Okay, so I guess we're kind of all in agreement that Tua, like, this one hurts, right?
Yeah, it's not the best
Yeah,
contract I've ever seen.
Jordan Love, 4 years, 220 million, 155 guaranteed.
It's not the best contract I've ever seen.
It's. We definitely haven't seen the best of him. I don't think. We don't know, but
But we've
I don't-
seen more Tua
but-
than we have fucking Jordan. Like,
Right,
what the
right, but
fuck?
that's the
We
thing.
we're paying him based on half a fucking season
That
where he
half
was
a
good.
season,
The first
yes.
half of the season, at the deadline, they were talking about how they don't know about this fucking quarterback, and they know enough about him to give him $220 fucking million and $155 million of that guaranteed.
So-
After
so,
8 games
okay.
where you lost a playoff game.
the people saying they don't know if he's the guy, was that the organization or was that just like maybe a media thing?
Wasn't that Mark Murphy? Or,
I don't. Did he say that? I don't remember.
Yes, he fucking said that around the deadline. The president of the team. This
You know,
is-
well, because you'd think he's been in their building for 4 years. That would help. It's tough because he had a very good stretch. It's not even a year. He had a very good, what you would call a stretch in the NFL. Like 8 games, a good playoff run. He had a good playoff run though. He showed. I think that playoff run. I think that is a big part of what led to that contract. At least I hope it is, because if you can show that kind of, your first playoffs, you're able to beat the Cowboys, of course, you know, and
I mean,
Hey, let's not act
Stop
like they
it.
have seen this guy. Like they know this dude through and through at this point as well. Like
exactly, he's been there for
the
4
New
years.
York Giants paid Daniel Jones
I think
$40
we
million a
all agree-
year.
I think we all can agree he has a lot more upside than Tua. He
We
could be
see
a
bad contracts all
lot
the
better.
time.
This could
I-
could turn into a good contract.
It
I
could.
also, I
It
also
could turn
think
into one. It has a chance to.
I also think it's a little bit of Gutekunst and who's their president? Mark Murphy, maybe.
I
In
think
Green
that's-
Bay. I think it is a little bit of them, like they were hounded so much for that Jordan Love pick, right? Like everybody just roasting them, and now it kind of is like, oh, we told you, right? Like, oh, this was our next guy.
Maybe they're thinking that they got to pay
I'm
him
out
before
now,
the
brah.
inevitable Super Bowl.
So I think they were also a lot more willing to give him that money.
there was some of that. Like there was before this past season, there was some of that. Like, God damn, this had better work out. because we just basically ran Aaron Rodgers out of town
So
So
I think
for this guy. However, like, I have no problem with the Packers giving this contract. The thing you got to remember, like, in 3 years, this contract is going to be the 8th or 9th best contract.
I mean, you know, you say the same.
Like,
about
these
your-
contracts keep cycling, guys. They're all going to one up each other.
I know.
It's less guaranteed
It's
than-
like I
less
talked about even with
guaranteed
Trevor
than Tua.
Lawrence.
And with the Green Bay, it's kind of like the Dolphins. Like, they were kind of hamstrung. Like, it's either go with this dude who who played like a top 5 quarterback in the last half of the season, and give him money, or go back to square one drafting.
Yeah, no.
I'll pay the
This guy who we've been
I'll pay it
developing
every
for-
time.
Yeah, this guy we've been developing for 4 years. He did look very good in that back half. He's looked
Quarterback one
better
position,
and better
they
as it
overpay.
this like Tua has just kind of he peaked with Mike McDaniel and all his weapons, and he flatlined, right? He plateaued.
In December.
Jordan Love has just he's just done this. He's just done this so far. He's just gone up.
Yeah, and it's not like he had a bunch of superstars at receiver.
He did not. Yes, yeah.
True.
He did not.
Or
That's
really
a huge
any superstars at any skill position.
He had the same fucking guys that Aaron Rodgers had the year before, when Aaron Rodgers had like a mid ass season and couldn't even
Yeah.
fucking win the week 18 against the Lions to get to the playoffs. Like, and then he took that same team and had them in the
I remember
divisional round,
like
almost
short.
beating San Francisco. Like they took it to the Niners. Like, so I
Yeah.
definitely get the Jordan Love contract a lot more than Tua. I am like, man, he had a good stretch and you paid him so much.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's just like, what the fuck?
I think what the Packers did wrong wasn't the drafting Jordan Love. It's not the paying Jordan Love. It was the holding on to Aaron Rodgers about a year too long. Always better to get to lose a guy
Yeah.
a year too early than hold on to him a year too late, right? Type of thing, whatever that saying is. And they absolutely should have traded Aaron Rodgers a year earlier. That way they could have seen 2 years of Jordan Love before doing this contract.
Yeah,
and
that's what
we could
really.
have really known.
That's just what really.
Would you rather have Jordan Love or Goff for the next 4 years?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'd rather have a quarterback that I think is going to get better than a quarterback that I think is going to get worse.
Okay.
Like,
so
no,
Jordan
yeah,
Love.
I definitely think in the long run, that's why I even said it earlier this offseason. I think that the Lions' window is already passed. It's like their
Who
clear-cut
do you think-
window.
Who do we think is going to be the best quarterback in the NFC North?
Caleb.
This season,
Caleb.
this season will probably be Jordan. It better be Jordan Love. I'm going to say it better be Jordan fucking Love.
Could be Caleb Williams.
It could be.
Jared Goff if he has a great season.
I don't think that the Bears did enough on the offensive line to really change my opinion. I love that they did the skill positions, but the O line and tight end is always questionable.
But it's gonna be interesting. That division's going to be very interesting. Just to see who kind of like.
Yeah.
I mean, we know the Lions should be good, but the Lions
if he's-
get Lions. Everybody is expecting any moment now that the Lions could Lion.
Yeah.
No, I
I
still
don't-
think the Lions are going to be good.
I think they are too. I think they will.
But
I also-
I
there's
think Lions.
I still think the Lions are going to win the division. I just think Caleb's going to be the best quarterback in the division.
what if it's Sam Darnold? What if Sam Darnold has his resurgence? What if that year under Kyle Shanahan's tutelage?
I forgot about Sam Darnold. I was
He's starting
thinking-
for the Vikings.
I know. When I was thinking about the Vikings, I was thinking about the rookie.
Sam
yeah.
Darnold. If Sam Darnold comes out as the top quarterback in that division, I'm going to take a 2-year vow of silence regarding football. I'm not going to be able to handle that.
Or there was 3 injuries to the starting quarterbacks of that division.
Yeah,
Okay, then that'd be a different story. Like if he legit goes out there and outplays all those dudes.
What if he goes out there and just balls out? Sam Darnold, kind of was. Remember there was that suck
Hey,
for Darnold.
We've talked about Sam Darnold too much.
So Pete thinks Sam Darnold's going to do it.
You asked the question. What quarterback? He is a starting quarterback in the NFC North, Sam. So you brought this to the table.
And I forgot about it.
Well,
because
that's,
honestly, I kind of was like, the Vikings. Obviously, we're not counting, but the other three teams. It's a very real question.
Why-
You have those guys?
why would we discount the team? Why would we discount the team with the best wide receiving core in all of that division? They have Justin Jefferson, so it makes them better. And Addison.
Why over and over again? You said his name many times, and that is why, Fifi. That is
I get
why.
it. But they have a good. I mean,
Like, no, stop.
they were able to look. They were able to look competent with fucking Josh Dobbs last year.
I wanted to talk about Jordan Love versus Jared Goff versus Caleb.
And
Williams.
I'm sorry that I brought in the ringer of the other quarterback in that division.
Okay.
Up until he
So-
gets mono or until he pulls a hamstring,
Tim,
he'll be good.
what do you think about Jordan Love's contract?
I mean, I don't know. Fucking, it's hard because we've only seen like 7 good games out of him. 6 good games. How many was it? Something like that.
Would-
Six regular season and 1 playoff game.
2 playoff games.
It's-
He wasn't great in that
it's
second
still,
playoff game.
It's still questionable.
And the one
Would
was
you-
against the Cowboys.
would
I wouldn't
you-
have paid it.
You wouldn't have given him that money.
No, not for the unknown.
What would you have?
With him under contract? Fuck no.
But then he goes into the last year of his contract here. And are you gonna say, all right, do it for 1 more year? Wasn't he sitting out? He was like sitting out, and there's a whole just to sit out in camp, and then
I
he-
had Aaron Rodgers before you. I'm used to my starting quarterback sitting out training camp.
Right.
And you know what I'm gonna do? You're gonna ball out. Cool. I'm gonna franchise tag you. I'm gonna see you play for 3 years before I pay you. I'm gonna
No,
see
you
you.
can't do that. Okay, no.
If I was Jordan Love, here's how I would think about that if they decided to make me play this year out. And at the end of the year, I'm a free agent, right?
Well, unless the franchise.
Okay, yeah, unless they franchise tag me, which
And I am.
whatever. but then I'm definitely gone. Like if you franchise tag me, then I'm definitely gone.
If you franchise tag me and then we can't work out a deal, for sure gone.
Yeah.
I get that the team would hope that we'll place the tag on you in hopes that we are going to work out a deal.
But what I'm getting at is, if I'm Jordan Love, I might feel a certain kind of way about my time in Green Bay.
It's tough to, especially after how Green Bay. I'm not saying they're right or I thought. I thought they should have gotten rid of Aaron Rodgers a year earlier.
Yeah.
What-
Yeah, I
what
think
about-
that.
With how things have ended with the last couple of their quarterbacks,
What was the
it
expectation?
may rub Jordan Love the very wrong way if you don't pay him and you make him play out another year. I guess.
There's a version of this where Jerry Jones doesn't give Dak the contract and ends up with Jordan Love in Dallas.
There's also the Dak Prescott of it all now, even after.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I mean, we can do that now.
Yeah,
we can transition right into that.
Let's just go. So now the Cowboys have to pay
They don't.
that.
Dak's
They
not-
have to. They don't have to. They don't have to. I'm sorry.
Dak's in a
They
different
have to give
situation.
them-
Dak's already been paid. Dak has had a big pay contract.
That
So he's
should take a team-friendly deal, right?
no. Now Dak has to be realistic about his abilities, and he has to say, "Hey, I know that I am going to make this amount. I will get paid at least what Tua Tagovailoa got paid by a shitty team. So if the Cowboys want to keep me, it's going to cost at least what Tua Tagovailoa got.
It's going
To
to
get
cost
me to
at
the
least what Jordan Love got.
Probably.
He'll get
Realistically.
quarterback sitting at 155 right now.
Guaranteed, he's going to want the 167. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, sir, there's
talked
three
about
guys
how the-
sitting at 55 an average per year, like at 55 mil per year.
He's going to
And
get
that-
60.
I think that's what he's going to go for.
He's going to get 60.
No, it's going to be
That's
60.
He's going to go for 60.
You go 60.
He's going to get 60, and CD Lamb's going to get 33.
No, what? Literally every analyst on TV is saying 60. So his agent has put it out there that it's 60.
Yeah, he wants
Then-
60. Then CD Lamb wants 33,
I mean,
34.
5 more a year than the next guy. That's insane. Anyways, then you've got also the CD Lamb and the
Micah Parsons of it all.
Micah Parsons of it all. So the Cowboys have to pay their best offensive player, which is who?
And also, don't forget about the fact that they put themselves into the situation by getting rid of a competent receiver that played across from this young receiver. If they had not traded Amari Cooper for a 5th-round pick, who's gone on and had a good 2-year stretch, and that has allowed the last 2 years for CD Lamb to go bonkers.
Yeah.
Because he's been your only real target.
And CD Lamb has been the best player in your offense.
Yeah, you fucked yourselves.
And Micah Parsons now is going to want some, what's the highest paid pass rusher right now? Because he's going to want that. He's going to want TJ Watt money, Bosa money, Bosa money. Where is that? He's going to want some Bosa.
Yeah, I think Bosa's getting 30.
So
yeah, to say you're looking at a very expensive D-line.
So
Jones type money.
My first thought is, well, if Jerry Jones manages to thread this needle and pay all of these dudes, we all need to have a little bit more respect for Jerry Jones afterwards.
Now, hold on. So Jerry Jones hasn't done shit this offseason, and that might be because he's having to figure that out right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously we have an odd man out.
Dak Prescott?
I mean, I think Dak's going to have to ball out this year to get it.
You don't think he gets it
I don't
before? Yeah.
Barring a holdout.
I don't think there's any way all 3 of these guys get paid by Jerry Jones.
So
I
you're
think
looking
I
at.
think there's also a very real possibility that only one of these guys gets paid.
So I mean, you're looking at Dak or Micah as the odd man out.
I do kind of. Well, yeah, I mean, here's the risky thing with Dak. He's got a no tag, no trade clause in that contract. So when that contract is up after this year, he's a free agent. You can't tag him.
Yeah, and he's going to go sign in Carolina and take the spot of Bryce Young and do nothing and amount to nothing.
Either give him 60 or lose him for free. Those are the only.
What would you do? And what would you do?
I think you have to pay him. I think you have
$60 million a year.
Yeah.
You traded. You have a former first-round pick as a quarterback. Obviously, we've seen the tapes.
Here's the number one thing. If I run a franchise that I don't absolutely will avoid at almost any cost is going back to the well at quarterback.
Then mediocrity will be your best friend because that's what the Cowboys will be stuck in if they pay this man again. They've paid him once, and because they saw how bad it was without him. But I mean, like, what you got to do sometimes is you got to bottom out.
If you're not going to pay Dak, you can't justify having any other of those dudes on your team.
You're right. But you can also trade them for more than you can trade Dak Prescott for.
And
because Dak's going to get a no trade clause again.
And look at it from Jerry's perspective. He knows that it's any year now. He's at the end. Like, is he really can he survive another blow up of his franchise? He may if I'm Jerry Jones, if I'm sitting there thinking, well, I've got to blow this all up and start over, I may as well just retire. And Jerry Jones is never going to do that. So, I mean...
But, man, no, so...
Now, if it was me at my age running the franchise, god damn, I just... look at what happens to teams. Sometimes having the Tuas and Daks is better.
I know, but sometimes you gotta make...
The grass is not always greener.
Sometimes you gotta make the tough decision, though. And the risky one. I think Jerry, though, has definitely made being relevant more important than necessarily being a champion.
Yeah.
I think he can
Yeah.
find talent, but he can never really piece it together. He can never put in a head coach who isn't just kind of a yes man to him or feels like he's
Well,
kind of, you know.
the big thing of it is, too, is I don't really like. This is not a salary cap issue. The Dallas Cowboys are the most profitable franchise in the world at $9 billion. Guess who spends has the least in cash spending in the NFL? The Dallas Cowboys. This is a problem entirely created by Jerry Jones.
Well, like I said, he's saving up for these contracts that he's about to pay out.
Maybe.
Or he's just cheap.
There you go.
I mean, I mean, you see that stadium? That didn't look cheap. A big old stadium.
Now a lot of these players will take Jerry Jones down to the fucking 0 hour, and Jerry Jones will relent. But you just gotta have the balls to take him down to the fucking last minute. At the end of the day, if anybody doesn't get paid, I think it's going to be CD.
Yeah.
And that's just on
You
gut
think
feeling. That's
CD
just
is
gut feeling.
Yeah,
Maybe.
see, I just got to stick with. I think Dak's gonna have to ball out to get money this offseason, and he's got to win a playoff game. I think that he might be on his last year at the Cowboys.
That might be the crux of it. Is
I think the playoff success because at this point we know that he's a good enough, like you said, he's a good enough quarterback like Tua is. But the problem with Tua, I'll go ahead and I'll concede that one I get because, you know, he's going into his 5th year as a quarterback. So, you know, there is still a possibility of, I know we all think he's plateaued, but we also have to take into account his first year, he's coming off a major hip injury. And Brian Flores is not really trusting him to play a lot of stretches, switching him in and out with Fitzpatrick. Then a new offense and stuff like that. You know, I mean, so like
Had injuries the next year.
yeah, you know, so like there has been reasons for Tua Tagovailoa to not have played up to his full potential quite yet.
It's
But
true.
with Dak Prescott, at this point, we book closed. We know what who you are. You're not going to change your philosophy of quarterbacking. You are Dak Prescott. You are a good regular season quarterback who's going to potentially get me a 1 seed in the playoffs, and then I'm going to get bounced out in the divisional round because that's where you max out.
It feels like both sides are like, let's see how this next year goes. You know, if it's the same old thing, you know what? Let's part ways. If it's
and it could just be
if it's more success,
However, I
then
mean,
maybe
everything you just said, P, can be applied to Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But Lamar Jackson also is a little younger than Dak. Not a ton,
and
but
he has MVPs.
he has 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't disagree with his playoff success. I mean, but I also
He's gotten
I
to a
think that if you
he's
don't
gotten
have
to a
play-
conference championship game. I ain't never seen Dak do that.
he's won 2 playoff games in his career.
Who? Lamar?
Yeah,
So is Dak.
I know, but I'm not applauding Dak Prescott for his playoff accolades over here. I'm not.
I know, but I'm saying he's gotten further than Dak in the playoffs.
Yeah, but he still only had to win 1 game to get there.
Yeah, but at least he set that up. Like, at least he didn't get the fucking 1 seed, then choke in the fucking divisional round.
True, Dak would have.
Yeah, I think we've seen him do it. Like,
This is, I think all of this is just kind of a byproduct of Mahomes, though. Like it really skews how you look at quarterbacks.
I
You
don't-
don't have to forget Patrick
Tim
Mahomes.
sent us the top 8 quarterbacks in the NFL, right? Like annual salary. I don't understand why any of them are getting more than Mahomes. Like, honestly, like, why does anybody get to point to Patrick Mahomes' contract and be like, I should get paid more than that? Like,
I don't know. I don't get it either.
why? Why? No,
Well,
you can get
in
paid like
Burrow's
more
case,
than
that's the only way that he's ever going to be better than Mahomes.
Burrow and
Philly had
Lamar
it.
are the
That's
only
why-
ones that I understand why they're even making
That's why you
around
did-
him.
Patrick
Jalen Hurts
Mahomes.
has just as much playoff success.
Patrick Mahomes doesn't get to control how much everybody makes in the NFL.
No, and I'm not saying, but it's weird just that teams can't be like, you know, if you want to get paid that much, you got to do that much. Like,
Yeah.
I guess that's not how it is, but you would.
No, dude, because Patrick Mahomes is taking so much less.
But at the time, yeah, I
Already.
mean, these guys also aren't going to sign for 10 years.
50 million.
Patrick Mahomes is where he's at in money because he wants to be there, not because these guys outgamed his agent or some shit.
No, I get that. I'm not saying that he's not like. And at the time, though, when Patrick signed the deal, he was the highest paid, right? Patrick did his thing of still getting like the highest paid at the time. But I just don't understand why it's a ladder. Then of the next guy's like, well, now that he's got that much, I'm gonna step up now and get this much.
Didn't they
Like-
give Patrick that contract before the first Super Bowl, or was that after?
No,
It
that
was after he won. After
He had
he won
already
the
had a
Super
league
Bowl.
MVP, and it was right after that first Super Bowl. Like,
Okay, I couldn't remember which
Super
offseason.
Bowl. This guy is unstoppable. Yes, sign him. You clearly want to sign him for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
He'll sign for 10 years. Holy shit, he's going to sign for 10 years.
Yeah, that was an exciting day.
So, like, I don't. Anyways. What do we got next? Like, there's some good quarterback. Oh.
Petty Mahomes.
Petty Mahomes. Talking about Mahomes. Yeah. Raiders did the best thing ever this week. and they
and then
and then-
pulled it down.
Oh, buddy. Oh,
I got
man.
some things to say about that part of it too.
So the Raiders post a nice video of Kermit the Frog puppet, who I'm guessing a fan brought, and they're
Mhm.
a rookie decided to pick it up and have fun with the Raiders rookie,
Mahomes jersey.
who didn't know any
7th round.
better apparently.
Cornerback.
Yeah, and oh no, and yeah, you know. So
So everyone,
with the
so-
Frog puppet with the Patrick Mahomes jersey and hair, right? And
And-
Did they say he's a bitch in the background?
and while he's puppeting it, goes, "I'm a bitch."
or something, or somebody says he's a bitch in the background.
Well,
Yeah.
the Daisy-
Anyway, Mahomes just says, you know, it'll get handled when it gets handled, and that.
Which is maybe the scariest thing I've ever heard him say.
Well,
That's like hearing Putin say that shit.
Well, and then
Well,
Andy Reid, he said, "Yeah, we don't spend a lot of time here with puppets."
Playing with puppets.
yeah, we focus more on getting better each day.
Yeah.
You know,
I was like, oh my
my
god,
God.
this is.
you're like, you know, this is a quarterback who has like a 10-2 record on your team. Oh, and just won the Super Bowl in your stadium. Like,
Nick
own
Wright,
your ass.
Nick Wright asked a really great question this week. So we have one playoff win in that stadium, or one postseason win.
Oh,
in that
I did.
stadium. How would you bet in the next 10 years that the Raiders
Have more.
overtake us?
Yeah. In playoff wins in their
Yeah,
own
we-
stadium in the next 10 years. We have one. Do you think in the next 10 years the Raiders will have two?
No.
I don't either.
Do you-
I wouldn't put money on it. I mean, I definitely wouldn't put money down on that.
Oh fuck no!
I know. You almost think that we would,
They'd have number one. They'd have to play a home game, which means winning the division.
the division.
Yeah,
We might win another Super Bowl in their stadium, really, before like, they have another Super Bowl in Vegas that we win.
Technically, they could play a home game, like if they were like the 5 seed and somehow they ended up playing the 6 or 7 in the playoffs.
Right. Right.
true.
But like a lot of calamitous things would have to happen.
Yes. Like
Why?
every
Two
Every
different-
team with home
two
field
different
would have to
years
lose.
that would have to happen.
Or I mean, yeah, it would have to happen twice. Or the Super Bowl. You could do it in a year where you'd play the Super Bowl in your own stadium.
Yeah.
If that, because I feel Vegas will have another Super Bowl in 10 years.
Oh,
So therefore,
yeah.
the Chiefs will have more than one Super
sure.
Bowl win in Vegas, probably.
Let's game this out too. If the Raiders win the division, they're probably also the 1 seed.
Because they had to.
The
Have a
one, or
better
the,
record,
one or
huh?
the 2 seed probably because they had to win a lot of goddamn games to do that in the AFC West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who are they playing in the first round in their first
I mean-
game? The Kansas City Chiefs.
And then what if we beat them in the home
Yeah,
stadium?
we're gonna go and get another one.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be
So yeah,
fantastic.
but my favorite part of this was after it happened, every single person in the world goes, "That was dumb."
Yeah.
What a stupid thing you just did.
Yeah.
And
And
all of, the
including
Raiders,
the-
all of the Raiders fans' reactions were on Twitter, "Oh, the Chiefs are so soft for saying we should take this down."
No, we're just
We never
warning
said
you.
you should take it down, dog.
No, we did not. We are actually very happy that you put this up.
You were actually
Yeah.
kind of being nice guys by telling you how fucking stupid that is to put up.
Well, yeah, we're very happy. I'm overjoyed that you guys
no,
put it up.
no,
Yeah.
I want one of those every day from training camp.
Yes, dude. Petty
Please.
Mahomes is the best Mahomes.
Yeah, I want to see updates on the puppet.
Mhm.
Daily updates.
You know what? So you brought up the Nick Wright's question about that. That just made me think of that stat that says the Jets have the 5th most playoff wins in their division because the Colts used to be in that division.
It's fucking pathetic.
No, the 5th most divisional wins.
Oh, that's
Not
what it
playoff.
was. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
It's fucking pathetic.
divisional championships.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't.
That's what it was.
They have the 5th most divisional championships in their own division out of 4 teams.
I so wish the Seahawks had a stat like that for the AFC West, at least to like.
Right to the
Like,
Chargers or
yeah, do they have something better than the Chargers or the?
It's
Oh,
the
it's just
AFC West, though, is like kind of a strong division in the fact that like each team kind of has a little run where they win, and then when we finally lose Mahomes, it'll be the Chargers will go on like a 4 or 5 win run, and then then it'll be the Raiders' turn. It seems like our division's always kind of been like that.
yeah, somewhat right. It always seems like a team does have it for at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
The Broncos had it for a while before us.
Yep.
All right.
The Seahawks only won it twice. The AFC
Well.
West.
Not very much.
No, not at all.
Any other training camp things that we talking about?
We can talk about how fucking exciting the receiving core looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, Worthy. Oh, I can't wait to see.
Boy, yeah, it's going to be a real dilemma too at the bottom of that roster.
I'm not getting hyped again.
I'm not really asking you. No, it's not
I've been
really
messing
like
with
a
it.
hype situation. Like the top 4 receiver slots are pretty well locked in.
Yeah.
It's really 5 and 6 that are going to be tough because you've got it's pretty close between Tony, Hardman, Sky, and Remigio.
Yeah, man.
Now
Yeah.
I think
Knowing
Tony-
Andy Reid, McCole will probably get it because he's been around for a while. He's had a lot of
yeah,
experience.
that's honestly the direction I'd go to. I like the experience side of it. I think
Who are your
Tony's
top-
kind of locked in because like we're paying him $2.5 million out of the way. We don't save anything cutting him.
Do you think that? Do you think a big preseason could get a team to trade for him? Something small, 7th round.
No, I don't think. I
Consideration.
don't think a preseason's going to move the needle on Tony. Like, I think teams think what they think of him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we couldn't trade him. It's not going to.
That's what I think the
Good
best
lord.
avenue is. Him having a good preseason and just shipping him off.
But still, it's really unlike Brett Veach to voluntarily have dead cap like that.
True.
But I think Tony's probably locked in. And honestly, he out of those 4 names I listed, I think he offers the most as far as like things you can do with him.
Yeah. He's been lining up a lot as running back in training camp.
He's certainly
Yeah.
the best special teamer.
He makes a damn good peanut butter jelly sandwich from weeks 2 to 17.
Because he's hurt.
Yeah, I mean, but like, we don't know what the new kickoffs are going to look like. I kind of
Yeah.
heard Louis Reese Zamet is not looking great in pads.
Zamet will get stashed on the foreign.
And he's got to know how
They
to work.
Oh
in
yeah,
that.
the foreign.
have the
players.
foreign exception on the practice squad, so he'll get put on there because he'll be on a transition year to
Yeah.
learn the football this year. So he'll be put there. Justin Ross probably gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people have been excited about him as well, but
Yeah, he's made
But we've
some,
been
like,
excited about
pretty
him.
good catches in training camp, but I don't think it's enough to get him a spot.
Yeah, I mean, it would need to be an insane preseason for him to overtake even Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore. Which I think Sky Moore probably makes the roster.
Yeah, well, and Justin Ross is like.
I don't know if Sky Moore makes the roster.
What's that?
Yeah, I think that's the other. I think Sky's getting cut. Like it's.
I don't
just
think Sky makes the roster.
I'm fine with that too.
I think he gone.
nothing, absolutely nothing special about him. I don't think Mahomes likes throwing to him.
He doesn't trust him. Have you seen him try to throw to him?
Yeah, why would you? Like,
Yeah.
He apparently had like one good catch today.
he's gonna
yesterday.
he's gonna
in
get
camp,
open like
but-
1 out of every 8 times.
Yeah.
He can't get open at all. That's been his biggest knock, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's no coincidence that his big touchdown for us, like he was wide open.
I think you and I could have gotten wide open on that. The Eagles were
Yeah,
just
they-
not
it-
interested
it-
in covering that fucking play.
Right. It was because dudes were switching. It wasn't because he burnt a corner.
No, yeah. Absolutely not.
Yeah, he got schemed open by a genius.
That's true. Yeah. Andy Reid, but like Travis Kelce said, Andy Reid could scheme open my dad.
I've heard our DBs are playing really well too.
Well, I didn't. We still don't even have Watson back yet either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like. So I wanted to talk about how I'm like. Are you guys that worried about Justin Reed's injury?
No.
Like, if he had to miss, say, the first 4 games,
4 games of the season, I wouldn't want to see that.
I wouldn't worry about that at all.
I just don't know our other than
we got some
co-
good safeties back there. We got some other.
we
good
do,
safeties.
but I'm also
Ocean is looking pretty good.
Our DB room as a whole,
DB room's really good,
it might be the best.
but I wouldn't want.
Our safety room is insane.
Yeah, but I just wouldn't want to come in with a Cook coming off an injury.
No, Cook is fine. Everything.
He's looked fine, but you also have like that.
he's looked more than fine. Like he's been.
That's what I mean. He's looked,
fucking balling out in practice.
but I mean, you also have
He's
Najee-
stand out.
Najee Johnson hasn't returned to practice.
So the safeties are Reed, Cook,
Oh.
Chamari Connor, and the guy we drafted, Jaden Hicks.
Yeah,
And apparently all these dudes are fucking killers.
yeah, they all look good in games
Good.
last year, other than Hicks.
I mean,
Now, the reason
I
I
like
I'm
the
not
defense.
really worried if Justin Reed misses the first 4 games is because it's a good thing for these dudes to get on the field.
I do think the best experience is
And-
fine.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is Justin Reed's last year.
it is. This is the he signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah, we are 100% not paying Justin Reed. You guys need to prepare
we
for
don't
that.
do that. We don't.
Yeah.
We're gonna say thank you for your service, Justin Reed.
Well, that's
It's also happening.
it's based purely on what our safety room looks like right now. Like we don't need
Yeah.
to pay him.
Yeah.
No, I mean we sometimes we just don't give like second contracts to to DBs anywhere. You
No,
know?
well, that's especially not dudes that we didn't draft.
Yeah, even dudes we draft.
Yeah,
Oh, we already gave you a rookie contract technically, so we're not giving you a second contract.
yeah. I think this might be the last year that our DB's coach doesn't get a job offer somewhere else too.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Spags though, I just love, how he uses the DBs and safeties and how we've built a defense that's just about guys who like fly around the field and are hard hitting, like
Yeah,
they fucking tackle. Like man,
yeah. I was always jealous of those Ravens and Steelers defenses in the
Yeah.
2000s.
yeah, dude.
There
And then the
was-
Seahawks.
I hated those fucking teams, but God, like Palomalu and Ed Reed.
Dude, Ed Reed,
God
God,
damn.
good night, but
Yeah, those
Like,
were.
I know we had Eric Berry, but he was not the same kind of dude.
you remember Bob Sanders when he was healthy?
My
Those times?
Bob
one of my
Sanders
favorite
when he was
players of all time.
Bob
like-
Sanders when he was healthy was the next level. Was the next
Well,
level. He
Dude,
was-
that dude won Defensive Player of the Year only playing 10 games.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, sneaky. I'm gonna
He's
ask you.
insane.
I'm gonna ask you a hard question. All right,
Love
okay.
Bob Sanders.
Bob Sanders or Sean Taylor?
John Taylor.
Dude.
purely because of health. Like, well,
But I'm just pure talent. Let's talk talent.
yeah.
Womp womp.
Well, so if Bob Sanders could play the way he played and his body never broke, Bob Sanders.
Yeah.
Because Bob Sanders did not give a fuck about what happened to himself.
Yeah, people so
did not.
fucking hard. Like,
He
Like,
did.
you could dare Bob Sanders to fucking run straight on it in oncoming traffic, and he'd do it.
yeah.
Dude, but that hit that Sean Taylor laid on a punter in the Pro Bowl is like the most legendary thing of all time. Like that fucking hit was like a Bob Sanders hit in a regular season.
It
Like,
was, yeah. Then maybe that's why to take Bob Sanders, because Bob Sanders did that to everybody, not
he
just
did that to everybody, dude. The Sean Taylor just blew that motherfucker up. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite NFL stats of all time is Bob Sanders winning DPOY, only playing 10 games.
Dang it, yeah.
That
As
is
a
a
safety,
insane.
as a safety.
As a safety, yeah. Bob Sanders was insane.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Bob Sanders. Number
I get
21.
it. Yeah.
Dude, it's too good. Dude, it's
Yeah.
too good, yeah. It was just a shame how much he was hurt, you know? It's
It
Yeah.
just,
sucked.
you know,
But then
a lot
you
like
watch
Eric
it and you're
Taylor.
like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course you're hurt. Like it wouldn't make sense if you weren't.
He played too hard.
He was like the size of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he really was.
He was a tiny dude.
He was a little more top heavy than Tyreek.
Yeah, it was just like, it was like it was as if the Colts had a goddamn cannon
Yes,
at
and he was,
safety, and they would just fire. As soon as the ball was hiked, they just fire a fucking cannonball.
yeah.
Yeah, Bob Sanders. Where were
So, we got anything else? Are we done it?
we talking left tackle battle.
Mm.
Wanya and Kingsley.
Yeah,
Kings, yeah. Wanye has been taking the second team reps mostly.
yeah.
I've heard.
Apparently Kingsley's look really good. They've got to work with him on getting beat on inside moves. Apparently that's a really bad
That's pretty,
And-
okay, well,
But also one thing
spot for him.
is, and inside moves aren't going to be as prevalent in the regular season because you should have Thuney back as well to help kind of mask
help
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also say that Kingsley handles his one-on-ones really well.
Good. Yeah, I think that I would like to see Wanya start transitioning to guard for future in case you do lose Thuney
Thuney.
or Trey.
Yeah. Because both their contracts are coming up.
Caliendo has been the guy at guard in camp so far.
Okay.
Has he? All right. We need to build depth though, because we've lost some over the past couple years.
Losing Allegretti's big. He's part of.
Yeah, and Wiley the year before that.
Allegretti was part of all of our Super Bowls.
Yeah, Allegretti saved us.
Yeah, he really did last year. He was fantastic.
Like, yeah.
Uh.
That's a tough ask to have him come in cold and beat San Francisco.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come in, help us just, start at guard. At guard for for Tooney.
Have you ever heard of Joey Bosa?
You
Or Nick Bosa?
You might have to go after. He wasn't on that side though, right? Nick Bosa's on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a big question mark as to why they didn't do that, but Bosa moves
That's how
a
where
little
Bosa
bit.
lines up.
Because Bosa was fucking toasting Jawan Taylor all day.
Yeah.
Like Bosa was unblockable. It was just all scheme.
Oh yeah, he was literally paying He was paying Taylor back for what he did to his brother the year before in the playoffs.
Yeah, but like the amount of times that like we fooled Bosa, like that's what we had to do. We had to get him going one way and go the other.
Yep. Have Bosa beat himself.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I think.
Oh, but speaking of,
No.
sorry. Speaking of the 49ers,
Ooh, Ayuk.
Ayuk, Trent
Man.
Williams,
Mm-hmm.
Trent
Trent
Williams.
Williams wants more money, but
Trent Williams says he's not going to play with. He wants a guaranteed money. He wants his money to be guaranteed, so he's not going to play. He said he won't play without it, and take him for his word.
And
He's done it before.
And it's dude. the 3 games they lost in the regular season last year, weren't those the 3 games he was out? Right? Like,
Yes, sir.
I think he's like, look, man,
That's unfortunate for the 49ers trying to negotiate there if he brings that up.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
Hard to argue with that.
I've done this before. And also,
best
so-
left tackle in the league. It's
Yeah.
like it's not
I
even-
would say bet the under on 49ers wins this season, if you're a betting people. Bet the under on their win total.
What, you think so?
I'd want to see how this plays out
Yeah.
first. Like if they don't pay Trent and they do end up losing Ayuk or Debo, then yeah, start betting because like we've just seen what happens when
Yeah, Super Bowl hangover also.
yeah. Dude, there's a lot of people like that are just so overvaluing George Kittle this season.
Madden curse as well, maybe? With
Like
Chris
they-
McCaffrey?
Like, a lot of people have got Kittle as the number 1 tight end this year. Not in fantasy, but like, and I'm just like, I don't get
They're
that
just
at
high
all.
they just watched receiver and they're like, oh, George Kittle.
Did they not watch the Super Bowl one?
I haven't
I
watched
haven't
it.
gotten there yet. I'm only on like episode 5 or something.
I haven't watched any of
That
it.
was what, 1 catch for 4 yards,
Yeah, no, I know what he did in the Super Bowl, so I understand what you mean.
and him chatting with George Karlaftis like a jackass while there's a fumble recovery.
Other than
going
fumble
on.
happening. Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Um,
Hey,
dude,
George!
Amon-Ra St. Brown though, that dude's awesome. I want that dude on our team.
Yeah.
I want to steal Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, that dude, they're never gonna let that dude go.
No, you shouldn't. You should never
Hey.
let that dude go.
They don't let great players leave Detroit. They
Yeah.
let them. The only way out of Detroit is retire.
Retirement. No,
At 9 years.
Matt Stafford got out. He got out.
True.
That was like a pity thing. I was like, we love you
But
so
Matt-
much. We want you
But
to
I'm
go.
talking. Maybe, yeah.
I think if that was anything but like a super team situation for Matt Stafford, I don't think they would have let him go.
And maybe you have to be like an NFL legend in order for them to not let you leave.
Not like an actual like Barry
Because like
Sanders or
Calvin Johnson,
Calvin Johnson. Yeah, no.
Barry
they-
Sanders, those are legendary players. Matt Stafford, he's like a Detroit legend, but like in the
Yeah.
NFL, like he's
You're like
They're gonna,
is he
look
a-
back, they're gonna look back at Stafford as the one who started to shift the narrative of Detroit. I think.
yeah.
Like
I
if
think
you look,
that-
if you look at Detroit on a long enough timeline from like how shitty they were, and like Matt Stafford had the 0-win season.
They came. No, he was drafted after the 0-1.
Well, that was after
Right
that.
after,
That's what-
yeah.
He was the one drafted.
I
He
think
was
Matt
the
Stafford still had a 2-win season or some shit like that.
Oh, I'm sure because, but Matt
Yeah.
Stafford also
But he
has,
like he
one, of
really
the coldest,
did, like,
has one of the coldest moments in NFL history where he breaks his fucking collarbone and then goes out there and
yeah.
throws a tutty.
Yeah.
He finishes the drive and he can't even move his arm. He's like, oh! And it's a game winner. Like, that's one of the coldest clips on NFL films of all time
Yeah.
against the Browns. Oh,
Yeah, that is a-
disgusting. Absolutely gross.
Yeah, that really is.
Might not have broke his collarbone. but
Yeah, I think like when you look back on this on a long enough timeline, I think they're gonna say it was Matt Stafford that started it all. Like
Calvin Johnson helped.
Calvin Johnson did.
and Calvin Johnson, yeah, it's the
Johnson.
duo,
Yeah.
the duo. But once all the feelings and everything are gone, because I think there's obviously some bad blood.
They all rooted for. They were. I mean, the fans anyway were rooting for the Rams and the Super Bowl when they won.
Yeah. They still appreciate
No,
Stafford.
For Stafford anyway.
Kelly Stafford was fucking not happy at how like they were treated when they went to that game in Detroit. The
Yeah,
playoff
well,
game in Detroit. I guess
Oh,
the fans,
well,
I guess the fans were really shitty to them, and their kids.
that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Can't condone fans treating.
But that's also coming from Kelly Stafford.
True. It is coming from Kelly Stafford. So who knows? They might
Kelly Stafford strikes me as gets really salty on her husband's behalf kind of woman, which that's the kind of woman I want to.
She probably expected them to like host a parade for Matthews' return to Detroit in the playoffs. that he.
No,
it-
they
it-
were just
it-
literally yelling nasty shit at her at the
That's,
game.
that's possible.
Seems weird.
It sounds very
According to her. According to her.
But yeah,
Anyways, okay.
Anyways.
Now we've done it.
now we've done it.
Now we've done it.
As always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Why not? Doesn't hurt. Who does it hurt? Besides the people who watch it.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for the thanks, chat.
90
We'll
episodes
see you.
in.
See you next time.
90 episodes down.
90 down. Go 10 away.
So